sophomore guard Grace O'Neill as our student athletes. All right, we are happy to have Drexel up here on the dais with us. And coach and players, I just want to say congratulations on a fantastic season. And we'll handle the press conference by Coach. If you could make an opening statement, and then we'll have questions addressed to the student athletes first, and then Coach, you can finish up with your questions, okay? Thank you.
Obviously not the outcome we wanted in the game, but to play a team like Texas and play on their home court and just the environment, the experience we had today, I think that's what women's basketball is all about, and we had an opportunity to play one of the best. And I think when you're a competitor, and you start playing when you're a little girl, Maris and Grace, we talk about this, you have a dream of playing in the NCAA tournament. And we had an opportunity to do that today and play one of the best teams in the nation. So I think the challenge, obviously, you talk about coming into a game and giving your best. I can't say I could be any prouder of this group. I think they gave their best. I think I knew they would. But, so many messages from people just saying how proud they are of this team. And I can't tell them, I said this before, this team made me a better coach this year in so many ways. And I thank them. We were talking about in the locker room, but grateful for the experience. And just, congratulations to Texas. Great team, great defensive team. We take a lot of pride in our defense, so to play another team that does that so well, and just want to wish them luck, obviously, in the next round. But back to our team, great fight, and I will take that any day. With a loss, but just very proud of this group.
Thank you so much, Coach Mallon. Now we'll have questions addressed to the student athletes, please. We'll start here. Just your name and affiliation, please, before the question.
It's Almeida, the Daily Texan. Amaris, Coach Schaefer shouted you out that you caused trouble to the Texas team. What does it mean for you to hear that from a coach like him?
It's pretty inspirational. I'm grateful just have the opportunity to play against Texas. It definitely was the competition that I love, so I'm just very grateful for the experience.
This Maria McWayne, Philadelphia Inquirer. Amaris, Grace, y'all have eligibility left. After playing on a stage like this, what does this do for you guys from a motivation standpoint coming back next year?
I think personally, it just drives me to get back to the spot. Winning the championship of the CAA was just an unbelievable experience, and the feeling was just so great. It was great to be able to compete today in such an amazing arena. So I think we're just really excited to get to work in the offseason and hopefully do it again next year.
Yes, most definitely. We worked really, really hard, every single day. So we're just going to do whatever it takes to get back to this spot again.
Next question will be from Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman.
Yeah, for both of you, I'd like to ask the full court that they came out with, did that surprise y'all? How much pressure did it put on y'all? And did you feel like just sped up?
I don't think I would use the word surprise. I think our coaches prepared us really well. Nothing in this game was a surprise at all. We knew exactly how physical they were going to be. We knew how well they were going to push the ball and their pressure in the full court. So I would not say we were surprised. I think just when we got there, being able to handle it. But I actually thought we did a good job, breaking it. I think we might have had 2 or 3 turnovers in, right from them throwing the ball in bounds. I don't know exactly. But I think their pressure down on the half court was really strong too.
Definitely
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It definitely wasn't a surprise. Again, our coaches prepared us very, very well. Now we just know what we need to do to up our game.
We're going to go to a question from those who are joining us on Zoom. This question will come from David Melandra. Just announce your affiliation as well, please. Go ahead.
David Melandra from Sports Talk Philadelphia for both the players. Can you guys talk about what has this whole week been like leading into today's game? And what is the one thing you can take away from this game going into next season?
This week building up, I think our coaches did a really great job of preparing us for what we're going to see, the loudness of the arena. They were preparing us with hand signals and stuff like that. But it was just really exciting to be a part of it. We're really happy to be here. It was great to be able to fly down here. I've never been to Texas, so it was just a great experience overall.
Yeah, second off of that, this is my first experience in Texas. I'm very, very grateful and blessed. I'm just very happy that we had this experience. We gave it our all, and definitely next year we're just going to do whatever it takes to get back here again.
David, do you have a follow-up question? Apparently not. Okay, we're going to go back to Kirk Bowles from the Austin American-Statesman, and then you'll be the next person. Go ahead.
To both you ladies, how difficult is it, as much size as they have down in the paint area, and then to have a girl like Shaylee popping threes from outside? Can you speak to that challenge?
I don't think we've seen that type of size. I don't think I've actually ever seen that type of size played against in my entire life. So definitely a challenge. I mean, they did a great job on the boards. They're a really physical team. So I would just say being aware. I mean, we were prepared with the scout, but they're just really physical, a tall team.
What about Shaylee?
Oh, she did a great job on the outside. I mean, I think she got a first three off in the first quarter, and it was miscommunication on our end. I mean, we knew what play it was. We just didn't call the shooter through fast enough. And then we made an adjustment in the second half. She only made 1 3 the entire first half. She was the only one who made the 3. So we decided to protect the paint and kind of opened up some shots for her, and she was able to knock them down.
Can you tell she's our business major? She's got all the numbers down.
I mean, most definitely going off, like, she did amazing, popping all the threes. I mean, we made the adjustment in the second half, protecting the paint, and it just allowed her to just make every single shot. So she did amazing. What was the second question?
I don't remember.
We weren't really surprised with myself. I used to grow up playing against boys, so they've always been taller, physical. But yeah, I mean, physicality, I've seen that before. I wasn't surprised by it at all. We just, fell short. Well, yeah.
Both ways.
Maria McElwain, Philadelphia Inquirer. So when they were able to cut off passing lanes to Amaris, when they were able to kind of slow her down after a pretty good first quarter, what was kind of the strategy you guys wanted to get more points up, and what were you able to take away from that experience of having your leading scorer kind of cut off that way?
Is that for me?
No, it's for
the players.
Sorry.
Thank you. I would say, Amaris did a great job in transition, and the first quarter, leaking out, I think we were able to hit her pretty well. I think once they started taking away passing lanes, we tried to do some backdoor plays and some curl plays that we were able to get her. I think we hit a couple. Erin Sweeney, I know we got 2 off of some pretty good cuts. So I think just capitalizing over them, overplaying.
Definitely allowed openings for the rest of my teammates. They all can shoot the ball as well. So, I mean, it's a quick adjustment. We all can shoot. We're all, shooting threats, so, yeah.
Do you have a follow-up question for the players? No? All right. Yes.
How you doing? Corey Mose, KVU Sports. Just wanted to ask y'all, I've been talking a lot about just the experience and how special this is. And so have y'all been able to take a step back throughout the last couple of days to kind of realize where you're in, or is that now the time to do so? And just speak on just how great is this moment?
I think it's just awesome to be able to play here. I would say definitely when we showed up to the arena yesterday for practice, we were like, wow, this is, it's an amazing arena. Just really grateful to be able to play in it. And then I got a couple texts and calls this morning, just wishing me good luck from some coaches and some family, and just telling me to soak it all in. So when I stepped out there today and the people started flooding in, I definitely was like, wow, this is an amazing experience. Sometimes only a once in a lifetime experience for some people. Hopefully, obviously, get back here next year and the following. That'd be great.
Yeah, Coach Amy always says to be where your feet are. So just being in the present, just enjoying this whole journey. Walking into arena, a big jumbotron, and all these seats, and just the aura and atmosphere. It's definitely been an awesome experience.
Do we have any other questions for Grace or Amaris? If not, ladies, congratulations for your successes this season and for your conference championship, and best to you.
Thank
going
you.
forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we'll open it up for questions for Coach Mallon, please. Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman, will be asking the first question. A reminder, if you are joining us on Zoom, please use the raised hand function, and we will get to your question momentarily. Thank you. Kirk?
Amy, do they look like a 1 seed to you?
Yes, I'll definitely say that. I knew coming in. I was like, as soon as I saw that, I go, the one thing, I said this before, I've always admired Texas and their defense because I'm a defensive-oriented coach. It's one of the reasons we've had success. So, of course, when I saw that, I'm like, shoot, this is a team that, I know what we're about to face, and we're going to have to embrace it. But, you're going to be challenged because I feel like defense is truly what keeps you in games. It can the amount of possessions the team's going to have. So, I'd say that and I appreciate Coach Schaefer. We had some words and just some of the words about our team. So I really appreciate his compliments, of our group. So I take that, as a coach, just another coach telling you that means a lot because that's something I do focus on as a coach.
Did you see a weakness?
Did I see a weakness with this group? I said, I think there's a couple. I think as long as they're playing defense, and they rebound, I think that's how you win championships. I say that all the time. So I think if they continue to do that, they're going to be a tough team to beat.
Coach, Madison Booker for Texas.
Can you state your name, please, and affiliation?
Caleb Young, Austin American Statesman. Coach, Madison Booker had 14 assists for Texas. Would you believe me if I told you that she never played point guard in high school? And what does that say about her vision?
I obviously got to watch film on Madison and just you saw what she was capable of doing, and I think she really did a great job distributing the ball. But, I think when you have a player who's as talented as they are, I say one of the things when you see a great player, they're able to do a little bit of everything. And I think she showed that piece of her game as a facilitator on the team because she's someone people have to guard and they have to really zone in on. So that's just allowing her to even help her team continue to be successful. She's doing that as well. So I would say no, but, the way she played and what film I saw in her, I knew she was capable of doing a lot of things.
We're going to go to a question from our Zoom media participants. David Melandra. Go ahead, David.
Hey, Coach. Two-part question for you. One, what was the message you gave to your players following the game?
I think the one thing you always talk about is, you thank your seniors, you thank the people that were leading you throughout the season. And, this team, and I said this before, we were in a spot, we were 12-14. And one of the things, we had a rocky road getting there, and then we won the 7 games straight. And that's all leadership to me because they very easily could have just said, hey, you know what? This is who we are. But they believed in what they fought us a little bit, but they believed in what we were about. So I think that's the first thing. We always talk about showing gratitude and how that can really, it doesn't always change the circumstance, but it can change your mindset with how you approach things. So we want our student athletes to have experience at Drexel that takes them beyond the court. And I think thanking them is the first thing you can do for everything they did for the program. And I think the next thing is just, reminding them that we made our Drexel community, our administration, the city of Philadelphia is so proud. The amount of messages we received throughout our time from Sunday to here, I couldn't even tell them enough how proud I am of them, and I think that's really important they know that. We'll have a chance to celebrate, we know that, but I think just to be able to tell them that, and, we counted on each other, and we believed in each other, and that can go a long way in life. So just to remind them that this experience, yes, soak it all in. As Grace said, I love that she said that because, you don't say that and say you don't want to win. I don't want to say that because I'm as competitive as anybody, but just understand that, in the end, not every team's going to end up with a win. But I think to me, I have a lot of winners on my team, so I'm just really proud of what they did this year.
David, do you have a follow-up question?
Final one for me is, second year in a row, there's only been one team from Philadelphia to make the NCAA tournament. Do you feel like there was a little more pressure on you guys this year, knowing you were the only team from Philly in the NCAA tournament?
Could you repeat that again?
Second year in a row, there has only been one team from Philadelphia to make the NCAA tournament. Do you feel like you guys had a little more pressure going into this game today?
I think that piece of pressure, I think it just goes to show. We talk about Philadelphia and Philadelphia basketball, and these teams in Philadelphia, we root each other on, and I think we felt the support from everybody else. So I don't think the pressure is. I think we did what we need to do to get here, and that is an accomplishment in itself. So for us, it was just stepping up, and we said we warmed up out on the floor. We did our warm-up, and I said, what was different about this warm-up than our last one? They're like, nothing. I go, that's what it's about. We're not going to put too much pressure on this one game. We're going to show up and we're going to fight, and we're going to make Philly proud. We're going to make, and I know the other teams and the city's going to be rooting for us. So knowing you have that, I think it takes a little bit of pressure off. And I, go back to, Philadelphia's a great place for basketball. And I think this team just demonstrate the kind of fight Philadelphia basketball has, and across. We are very proud just to represent the city here in March Madness.
David, we appreciate your questions from afar, and we're going to return to questions from the media assembled here in Austin.
Maria McElwain, Philadelphia Inquirer. So what does this experience do for you as a coach in terms of like culture building and setting a standard and on the recruiting trail?
Well, I said it in there to my team. We talk about afterwards. I thank them because I think they made me a much better coach this year. Just the challenges I had, a little bit different than my first 3 years, or obviously it's my 20th year at Drexel. So just proud of the growth. I've been part of this program and the sustained success we've been able to have. But I think this team, there was a piece. I said to them, "You made me a better coach because you challenged me in ways that we didn't have one all-conference player this year. We did not get recognized, and to find a way to win." And I say that because it's probably my first year. I've been, we've had that experience, and to find a way to win and do that, and really have a team believe in what you're teaching them. We always said I could question some things I was doing, but not doubting what we were about. I think it just reminded me that maybe the grass isn't always greener. It's not like you always have to find that next. You do have to find your next best player. Like recruiting is a big piece of that, but realize your culture, that goes a long way. Hedda Satman is an example, someone who came back this year, 5th year. Aaron Sweeney, people that came back, very end of their careers that didn't play a lot of minutes, and they shined when they needed to. And to me, that's what our program's about. So I'm hoping I can use that for momentum, as I go out on the recruiting trail, talking about what Drexel's about. But it just reminded me that I'm going to stay true to who we are and not really change, because you start thinking about that when things aren't going your way. And I think this team, I said, you just proved to me again that what we do does work, and we're going to continue to evolve with recruiting, with everything that's going on, but continue to stay true to who we are.
Kind of an on-court question to follow up. They obviously had that size advantage. They were kind of dominating on the offensive glass. What was the conversation like at halftime or in breaks about how to maybe kind of break through that a little bit?
Yeah, it's tough because when you play a team that physically, just from a size-wise, really dominates that piece, and you have to try to tell your team you have to embrace this piece, and you can't avoid it. You really have to go into it and finding ways to either, we said, and I saw it actually a couple times right towards the end. I said, if you can't get the ball, just slap it out of bounds so they can't get it. And Hedda Satman slapped it out of bounds and turned over and smiled at me. I said, look, you're still learning. There's only about 4 minutes left in the game, but it's one of those things where you continue to teach different things that things that you think that might help. But that piece obviously was really hard for us today from a physicality standpoint, just not having the ability to go right back at him that piece, and that I think that obviously you look at the rebounding difference, that was huge today, and I think I say that to my team, rebounding is what really wins championships, and in this moment we weren't able to sustain that piece, but I think it's something you continue just as a reminder with the growth of our team moving forward, that's something we'll continue to focus on as a group.
We have time for a few more questions for Coach, and we'll take our next one from Kirk Bowles, Austin American-Statesman.
Amy, when you're preparing your scouting report and game plan for Texas, I don't guess you zeroed in on Shaylee Gonzalez with their size in Madison and everything. And is that kind of a luxury for this team?
Yeah, well, that was the one thing I said, well, she's going to shoot, so you have that piece of it. But, I was saying their guards just so tough. When you talk about a player like that and both the Shaylee and Shay, like they play a lot of minutes, so I'm watching their film and saying, hey, you have to be ready to guard these kids for almost 40 minutes, so that's a big piece of it. You're doing that, and then you're trying to contain the inside, and that's, when you play basketball, you have inside-outside game like that. That's part of what makes you successful as a team, and I think they certainly showed that today.
Any other questions for Coach Mallon? If not, Coach, I just want to thank you for joining us today. Congratulations to your team and to you for your strong finish and for your conference championship this year. Best of luck to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Press conferences is going to be available at the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. And the press conference transcripts are provided by ASAP